Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Monday session, 2 p.m. in Miami. Today, I'm going to show you, I'm going to talk more about the SmileFy TNG concept, so the Smile Design Next Generation. What are the limitations in the Smile Design workflow? What are our solutions to make everything work in a seamless and easy way? And afterwards, I'm gonna show you something that we integrated and we improved over the weekend, and that speed up the 3D project in a way. I'm really almost happy with this new workflow. I'm almost happy, but it's super quick and it makes much more sense. And I think you are gonna enjoy, and I think you are gonna like what you see. So first of all, let me talk a little bit about the Smile Design, the next generation concept. And the first principle is 2D Smile Design. 2D Smile simulation is powerful but superficial. It has no clinical value and has only one purpose: to motivate the patient. That's why, from a business perspective, the 2D Smile simulation cannot take longer than 1 minute, because time is very important. And it just opens the discussion for an aesthetic treatment. It makes the patient curious to know more. That's why super quick Smile Design done by AI. And from there, we go deeper into the discussion when the patient is interested. That's the first limitation, and we all need to understand the limitation and to shift our focus and our mindset from the Smile Design workflows to really eventually new workflows, new understanding, and a paradigm shift. Smile simulation is powerful, motivational. It has no clinical value. We can go and open the discussion for an aesthetic treatment. 2D Smile Design has only one clinical value: when you design a case for gingivectomies. And I'm going to show you more, because everything what we have, it's the result of very, very deep research work and very hard research work to understand what are the limitations, what can we improve, what can we do to make it better, right? And I'm going to show you our solution and why the whole Smile Design workflow and everything is going to change, because it's really super interesting. And I promise you, with all the experience and everything what we do, we recreate the Smile Design workflows in a new way to bring more value, more accuracy to everything what we do. Then the second principle: when the patient is interested, then you can invest more time and bring additional files to the Smile Design, like scans, CBCT, and then you can design accordingly to the new data available. Okay, so it doesn't make sense if you have a Smile only 2D Smile simulation with a picture. It doesn't make sense to go and change every single shape, every single embrasure, because the patient doesn't care. 1 minute, you get the motivation, and then you can go with additional files and design properly and get the clinical data that you need. In one case, the 2D Smile Design works properly from a clinical perspective, and that's the case when you have a gingivectomy case and you don't need to change the embrasures or the form of the shapes. You take the shapes, you use them the way they are, and you define where is the gingival margins. And I showed in the last weeks, I showed this case, and it was very, very cool to understand how everything is working. So now let's talk about the limitations of the 2D Smile Design. And if we understand these limitations, then we can manage the limitations, and with new technologies, we can change and we can improve everything what we do. Okay. The Smile Design workflows and the Smile Design technology is a journey. We learn from the day-by-day life. We learn from case to case, and then we need to improve. We need to improve the technologies, we need to improve the workflows, and we need to change, because as long as we don't have the most accurate systems and workflows in the world, our job as technology and educational company is to develop new technologies and to improve with every single update our workflow to make it work. So let me explain to you why the 2D smile design and the 3D smile design cannot, so why a 2D smile design cannot be transformed into a 3D smile design and it's not accurate. Because we have several issues and several limitations. What is the first limitation? When we create the templates for the 2D smile design, we create the templates based on Untitled shapes. Untitled shapes based on the picture or the intraoral scans. These shapes, these pictures are created in the ideal environment. It means we have the perfect frontal position of the patient and we have the best scan or impression in the best position, 90 degrees to the front, the perfect frontal position of the head. But this patient has in his way the size of the arch and the occlusal curve, the characteristics of his smile are encoded in this shape. It means when this central is 12 degrees orientated to the front, this central to the outline is the representation of a central with a 12 degrees rotation to the front. In the ideal head position, 90 degrees here, perfectly frontal. Now, our picture is not ideal from the patient. Problem number one, the picture is not frontal. The head is eventually tilted. Third problem, the arch size of the patient is different than the arch size of the smile tonator of the template. And then our central, which is a representation for a central on 12 degrees. If our patient needs a central rotation of 8 degrees, 6 degrees, or 15 degrees, when it's different than the template, it doesn't match. So just imagine, I'm gonna explain a little bit more visual eventually with my model here, right? So we have the model. The template is perfectly 90 degrees to the front and perfectly frontal. That's our template. Now, my head is not ideal when I take the picture for the smile design. So the position of my head is eventually to the side, down, up. Patients have issues. They have back issues. They have a different posture. They are not ideal in the perfect frontal picture. So when we have 2D outlines and 2D smile frames that needs to represent actually the smile, it's not working because the 2D smile frame is ideally created on the template from Untitled. Now my head is tilted or rotated. I put a perfect frontal shape on a tilted position of the patient. So there are so many moving pieces. It's impossible to represent a 2D design into a 3D project. Then we have more problems. If we rotate, for example, every single tooth, canine, you see that the outline changes with every single degree. But in our 2D shape, we do have only the original rotation of the canine. So if this canine was rotated 45 degrees to the front, right? That's the representation of the 45 degrees canine. What if my patient needs a different canine angulation, like 41 degrees, or even 37, or 44, or 35? The outline on 35 degrees is completely different. And then the representation of my design is wrong, because the 35 degrees green line and the 45 degrees red line, when I superimpose them, I see they look completely different. If I resize the shapes and I bring them to the same size, I see there are huge differences here in the outline. Plus, we do have with the canine a bigger problem. With the canine, we do have a bigger problem, because what you think in the frontal position, that is the distal line or of the canine, it's not the distal line. The line that you see here is the visible line of the canine due to rotation, and it's the highest point of the surface that you see. The distal line is behind this yellow line, right? You have a canine, the canine is like this, right? And now we rotate the canine. What you see due to the rotation is the highest point of the surface, but that's not the distal line. The distal line is here, right? That's the distal line. That's the distal line of the canine. So you see, 2D, 3D is impossible to be represented. It's impossible to be created accurately. So that's why we need new technologies. What I did, a case in which I took the 2D outlines and I perfectly matched them with the templates. We go into the occlusal view and it's not good at all. If we correct our occlusal view in an occlusal curve, then we do have huge differences in the frontal visualization of every single template. It means the 2D design and the 3D design doesn't match at all, right? Here is another example of a 37 degrees canine, 31 degree canine. The outlines don't match at all. The more rotation of the canine, the different it will be, the highest line, visual line from the surface that is visible. Now, you think that the yellow line that you see in the rotation is the distal line of the canine, and then you say, oh, I'm gonna increase the distal line and I'm gonna match my canine. You don't increase the distal line. What you increase is the surface rotation bump of the canine, because the green line is the real distal line, and this distal line is not visible because it's behind the highest point. So you see the 2D design for a 3D project does not have any value at all. So we need to rethink the workflows, we need to rethink the technology and to make it work. And that was for me a research over months and years to understand what does not work for 10 years in dentistry, what does not work, what is the issue between the dentist and the lab, what is the issue in the technology, what is the workflow, what can be improved, right? And then I developed something that will solve our problems. And I'm going to show you right now in my 3D, in the 3D app. And we are going to use this technology for the smile simulation. And we're going to use the technology to create a quick smile simulation. And then we're going to get the perfect representation of every single template that we use. Let me see. I do have a screenshot. I think that's going to be understandable for you. Okay. Here we go. Let me share with you at the beginning just a screenshot from the prototype that we built, and it's working. And we use this technology in the 3D smile design, but we are gonna transfer this technology and to create the smile simulation. And let me explain to you what this is. This is a 3D smile frame, and these are veneers, 3D objects. If you do have the occlusal picture or the intraoral scan of the picture of the patient, we define the occlusal curve and we built this 3D smile frame based on the patient situation. When you don't have the intraoral picture or the intraoral scan, we create the 3D smile frame based on the ideal occlusal curve, and we display the veneers as 3D objects over the picture. And then we can use the Vita colors, we can use the shades, the correct shades, we can use light reflections. So we have new options to design the smile. Why is that important? Because if you need the different rotation of the canine, the outline and the visual surface of the canine changes based on the patient situation. So you don't have one outline that's not working. You have exactly the perfect visualization and representation of the surface of the canine in that rotation. Laterals, exactly the same. Centrals, exactly the same. The most impossible task, and that's a promise. I created a prototype which I registered, IP, patent, nobody can copy. Creating outlines from every single angulation of the teeth, every single rotation, creating the outline, creating the tilt also, and then based on the facial analysis, AI facial analysis and facial orientation, we select the shapes that match. It doesn't make sense. It's a better smile simulation, but it doesn't make sense. Why? Because with the 3D smile frame, I can follow the face. So if you don't have the perfect picture or the patient is impossible to take the perfect picture, we follow with the 3D smile frame the face. Following the face, we always do the rotation and tilt and whatever situation we have, you can visualize the perfect and most realistic outcome of the treatment. Embrasures, if the patient needs open embrasures, you exchange the templates. You don't redesign the embrasures right on the 2D outlines, because the most impossible task is mathematically to display a curve, a 2D curve in a 3D object with rotation. That's impossible, right? That's impossible. And it doesn't make sense, because if we use in a very simple way our 2D smile design, but with veneers, and we follow the face with the 3D smile frame, it's easy. The problem is solved. So let me show you what I mean, because it's super, super interesting. It's going to be a paradigm shift, but it's going to be so easy, because that's the most important part for me. It's going to be so easy that you are going to design in 3D like so easy like in the 2D smile simulation, but you get a much more accurate representation of the smile when you want to move to 3D. So let me show you what I mean. I already calibrated the files, means picture, STL, prep, and CBCT. I already calibrated the files. And I'm going to start a 3D project. Our new feature is going to, the name is going to be Smile Design Veneers or 2D Smile Simulation Veneers. I don't know, maybe you can propose something. In the first step, what we need to do is we calibrate the occlusal view, frontal view, and profile view. And that's, you see, it's the same object, but we have 3 cameras, integrated 3 cameras, and we have, when I change the rotation or the movement, all three objects are updated. So it's one object with three cameras. So I think I am happy with my calibration. I do have the option to change between the original scan and the prep. You see, the prep or the scan. Let's go. I'm gonna create my occlusal curve over the prep. That's the 3D Smile design, but the technology and the workflow is gonna be the same, just less steps, right? But then if you want to transform your simulation into a 3D design, then it's super easy. Then it's 1 minute. It's not longer than 1 minute because you already have the occlusal curve and all this stuff. So we calibrate in the occlusal view over the prep. We create the occlusal curve. Based on the occlusal curve, I go to the next step and we create now automatically the 3D smile frame. We are going to adjust the 3D smile frame based on the patient situation. And that's it, more or less. Okay. We do have all views. Right now, I don't need all views because I can check with all views what I'm doing, but I'm gonna let only the prep. I'm gonna orientate my 3D smile frame with the prep midline. I'm gonna set the midline correctly. I'm gonna set the occlusal angulation correctly, like this. And I'm gonna change a little bit the midline, more, like this, yeah, okay. And then there's the ratio. I think I'm gonna adjust a little bit the ratio. That's fine. That's also a problem that I want to emphasize. What you see in the frontal position, even the 3D smile frame, it's not the real deal. It's a visual representation of a frontal position, field of view. Some things are hidden. Some things we don't see. That's why we go to the next step. And in the next step, we're gonna set the occlusal width of the smile. So now we have the height. We adjusted the height of the smile. We go now and in the occlusal view, we set the width properly. Centrals. Okay, centrals, laterals. You see, I move the sliders and I set the distal lines of my smile, canines, like this, and I'm gonna lock the canines and I'm gonna adjust my premolars. Maybe I need to unlink the right and left side and bring the distal of the molar more accurate. Okay, the canines, I'm gonna unlock them. Distal canines, come on, where are you? Distal canines, yes, that's good. Canine, left, distal canine, distal premolar, lock, and laterals are good, centrals are okay. And now I generate my smile. If my calibration, the occlusal curve and the 3D smile frame was done properly, if I took the time to set these points accurately, to think about where is my occlusal curve, how do I want the smile, and so on, now we calculate automatically based on these parameters. And here we go. It's a little bit too lingual, so we're gonna adjust the smile more buccal. And that's the first proposal. That's the starting point of our smile design. And I think it's accurate. I think it's a good way. But my point was, you have the 3D smile frame. Just imagine the 3D smile frame like this with veneers, right? With veneers. So it's going to be the same technology. Now, it doesn't matter if I have a patient that looked down or to the side or the head was somehow rotated, because I can follow the picture, the head orientation with my 3D smile frame. Following the patient's head with the 3D smile frame, I always get the correct representation of this veneer based on the rotation and angulation and whatever I have. So I'm not trapped in a 2D outline that was created with a certain rotation, certain angulation. Now I can follow the face and I can create the best representation of the smile. Having the veneers, I just go to the next step and I create my 3D smile design, because the size, the rotation, all the data that I bring is the same. So I can just exchange the veneers with the real templates, and I get a good starting point to start my smile design. And that was over the prep, right? That was over the prep. And now I just select my teeth, and I'm gonna adjust here in my 3D smile design the position, the angulation, and everything what needs to be done, right, to finalize the design. But I mean, as a workflow is very quick, right? It's very quick. As a workflow, it's very you do have an overview about what you want to do, and even if you are a little bit trained and you consider designing in front of your patient, it's possible. Right now it's possible because it's a very quick, right? It's a very quick workflow, and it helps you to communicate with the patient, to discuss the designs and all this stuff. So let me bring everything a little bit more lingual and make sure that the design is properly done. And then I'm going to go to the next screen, because the next screen is also new integrated, and to finalize all this stuff, it's gonna be fun. Okay, let me see. Looks good. Maybe the premolar here. Oh no, distal. Okay. No. Here we go. Let's see, what do we have? The wrong rotation, but a little bit more like this. Canine. It's okay. And the premolar. Okay, I think that's fine. Okay. Oops. So now what we have in the next screen is the Scalp Tool. And we can finalize, oops, that was the wrong one. We can use the Scalp Tool as a digital wax system, and to bring, to create more the gingival margins and everything what we cannot create in this screen, because the templates are solid objects, right? The templates are solid objects, and we need to organically to change them, to make them harmonize with the intraoral scan, with the prep and all this stuff. So that's why we have, let me see, that's okay. We have in the next screen, we have the Scalp Tool where you can, it's like a mesh editor, so you can go and really change every single detail, add material, delete material, and work with all this stuff. Okay, so let me see. Oh, I just recognized right now it's something is missing, and that's why it's good when I show you everything what I do, because in the morning we integrated this way to create a smile screens 3D smile frame over the prep. But here we also need then the prep displayed and not the original STL, because right now we have the original STL. So you know, it's like a mock-up. So I need to go back, bring everything more buckle, and then design. But we designed over the prep. So I need here also the option to select the prep and then to finalize everything. But I'm going to show you, nevertheless, I'm going to show you what we can do in this screen. It's like a digital wax system. So it's a mesh editor. You can change the meshes. You can adjust the gingival margins. You can go and finalize your smile very precise. For example, we have here, I'm going to add some material. Let me see. We're going to adjust now here. Yeah, and I select the tooth, and I'm going to add here some material, and I'm going to adjust the gingival margin. I'm going to use a different tool like move, and I'm going to move now the whole mesh more to the gingival margins. And here you see it changes the mesh organically, but it's very important to understand that the templates are natural templates, right? So you can adjust the gingival margin, but if I go, for example, now and I try to bring something on the surface, right? I'm gonna destroy the natural appearance of the template. So that's a tool that allows you to adjust the gingival margins, to adjust the tooth in the position, to make everything look very, very natural and organic. Every single curve, every single detail from the gingiva, but you cannot touch the surface, you know, of the tooth, because then we destroy this natural appearance of the tooth, and then it's you know, then it's doesn't look good when you go to the final restorations and mill, because this kind of huge, you see, this kind of huge changes destroy the surface. Okay, so that was my Monday presentation. As a summary, what do we have? 2D, 3D cannot be transformed. There are technical limitations, mathematical limitations. We need to understand the limitation of 2D and how can we use 3D in a clinical way, using the intraoral scan, using the CBCT, right? And then when we create the smiles with the 3D smile frame, we follow the face, and the 3D smile design needs to be done easily and properly, and that's why we integrated when you create the 3D smile frame, we integrated the option to select what is my reference to create a 3D smile frame. What is my reference? And my reference can be the original STL, right? It can be the prep, or for gingivectomy cases, it can be the CBCT. Because just imagine, and that's super interesting, I do have a case and I want to create a gingivectomy. I don't know what is the height of every single tooth. But if I go with a smile frame and I put the smile frame based on the bone margin, then I have a better visualization of what's possible. So I need to get all this information from all the files that we have from the digital patient, and based on this information to create my plan, to create my 3D smile frame, to create everything what is needed to have from the very first second the most accurate plan possible, right? That's why we create this digital patient, and that's why we want to have all these files integrated and accessible immediately. Whenever I need them, I want them integrated in my in the app. I want to see everything what I need to see when I plan, and it needs to be super quick and super easy. Otherwise, they don't help me at all. Right? Prep, original. And that's also something that is super important, what I want to show you. If you change the midline, you see, we really change the midline like in dentistry. So changing the midline, we rotate all the teeth around the occlusal curve, and we move the teeth to simulate a dental midline shift. So if you want to visualize and explain to your patient, then we simulate the real midline. So it's also amazing for the 2D smiles design, right? Using the 3D smile frame, you can shift the midline, but in real 3D. That changes, of course, this everything. Just imagine how many parameters you have when you have a picture which is tilted and rotated. Then you have the shapes from Untitled that are perfectly done, right? And then you move the midline like this, and you want to simulate something that is super inaccurate. So it has nothing to do with the real plan. But if you follow the face with the smile frame and then you change the midline around the occlusal curve, then we have a complete different visualization of the treatment plan. So these are the innovations, these are the steps, these are everything what we work day by day. And our goal is to make it so precise and so easy and so fun that, again, you are gonna be focused more on the smile and on the patient than how to use the technology. Thank you very much. Carmina, are you here with us? Hey.
I am.
The stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Raul. Thank you for showing us. And thank you for staying with us until the end. I see a lot of attendees. I don't know how many are on Facebook, but I wanted to give you more information about the SmileFy, the courses that we offer, and basically what Ralph showed us today. So I'm going to share my screen so you can see exactly what I'm doing here. Basically, we have the Smile Design Certification course, and this is our most comprehensive course that will teach you not only how to design in 2D, but also how to design using the STL file, and then basically what Ralph did today, recreating the 2D smile simulation into a 3D project. And as you saw, it's not only, you can do not only the mock-up, but you can also design the provisionals, and you can continue, maybe it's an ideal design. And so everything that you need to know about the application, we have the online course, but we also have the in-person course. And it's a very interesting hands-on course that will teach you basically, as you can see here, the first module is going to be about the digital patient and how to create a beautiful and harmonic smile design. Then the second module will be about the 3D design and how to create the mockup. As you can see, the transition is very quick from the 2D to 3D because you really don't need to spend that much time, but you need to learn the steps. And so this is our course. When it comes to our online program, I'm gonna give you some more information. For example, every Friday we have a Q&A session with the instructor. So basically, he's going to give you some feedback on your assignments because every week you have an assignment that you need to complete according to every module, right? That you watched, and then this course is going to be recorded. And so let's say you don't have time, you don't have to be at a specific time to watch the module. You can watch the module at any time, and then you have an assignment that you need to complete at the end of the week. So it's very fast, it's interactive, it's with the instructor, you can ask your questions, and at the end you'll get your certification. Along with the certification, you also have 21C credits, and the online program starts on June 18. Now, for those of you that are interested in the in-person course, it's going to be on August 5th, from August 5th to August 7th. And I'm just gonna go here so you can see what I'm doing, right? And the location is in Miami, Florida. And if you need to, have more information about this, we can definitely give you all the information that you need. And when it comes to, the hotels, when it comes to the location, just let us know. And the in-person course is just like the online. Of course, it's more interactive because we have, we have Ralph, we have our instructor Diogo Alves, who will basically be there for every step of the process. And so, if you are not able to attend the in-person course, just remember we have the online program. But then again, here we have 21 C credits and the Smile Designer Certification Program. It's the same workflow, okay? Day one, we're going to learn everything about digital patient and the 2D smile design. Then day two is going to be all about the 3D design, how to create your mock-up, how to create your ideal design, how to integrate that with a CAD software, like for example, Exocad. So you can use this and integrate it and continue basically the workflow, the restoration, finalize the restoration. And then on day three, we're going to talk about the clinical tips and the emotional dentistry approach. So thank you for being here, for staying with us. If tomorrow we are going to have another session with Ralph. So for those of you who want the recorded version of it, just let us know and we can send it to you by email. And if you need more information, remember that here you can find our email and the support number right here when it comes to have more information about the in-person course or the online. Okay, I see a question right here. The course is free or have some charges? Yes, so depending on if you already have the gold membership or not. Let me just go here. When I go to save your seat, okay, you will see the prices right here. So when it comes to, for example, if you want to get a bundle, and here, remember that you have the unlimited 3D exports included with the course, okay, and the gold membership, the yearly gold membership, the price is $3,200. Now, for, let's say you already have the gold membership, right? Then you're not going to pay the gold membership again, or it really depends if it's going to expire soon and you want to renew. And then for the online course, we also have, you just go here to Academy and you are going to see all our courses. We have the in-person course with 2 dates available on August 5th and November 4th. And then the online course is going to be on June 18, but remember that we also have other dates, August 20. Now, just remember that for the in-person course, we don't have a lot of seats available just because we usually take some precautions because of the COVID-19. So for those of you that are interested in the in-person course, I really recommend you to do this in advance, to plan your trip in advance, and so you can have basically the time for the course. And the online course, if you go here and enroll now, you're going to see the course only, it's 1,298, okay? And if you want to get the course with the gold plan and 5 3D exports included, so you can start, then it's going to be 2,297. So it's really up to you. Both of the courses, they are great. They are going to teach you the same, basically, the same structure, right? And so just give it a try. It's really interactive. And then once you understand the 3D, how to design in 3D, the possibilities are endless, because you can design a mock-up in really 7 minutes, or you can design an ideal project and then send it to the lab to basically continue the workflow, right? Or you can do, like I said, in this case, also the provisionals if you already have the prep. All right, thank you for joining. Thank you for staying with us. I see, let me see if I have any other questions. Okay, yes, I will send you the recorded version, Dr. Robert. And I have another question. How can I access the recording as I missed the beginning? Well, we are going to send you the recorded version as well. So I believe I have your emails, but just in case, if you can just type your email in the chat, and I will make sure you get the recorded version. And then tomorrow, again, at the same time, we have another session with Ralph, and he's going to explain you another situation, another case. And on Wednesday is going to be, again, another topic. So this week we have 3 sessions every single day until Wednesday. Okay, thank you. I will save your email right away. Okay. Do you have any other questions? Okay. All right. I have your emails, so I will definitely send you the recorded version. And like I said, if you do have any other questions, just let us know. Thank you, and have a good afternoon or a good evening for those that are in Europe. Can we have the certificate attendance? Yes, you will have the certificate. Oh, for this session, I don't think there is a certificate attendance, but yeah, there is no certificate attendance. What you can do is, if you want to attend one of our courses, then you will get the certification. We also have a 1-day course or the 3-day course that I showed you. So that's where you will get basically the certification, and you'll learn everything you need to know about the 2D and the 3D smile simulation. Okay. Okay, Dr. Faraz, I will send it to you as well, and Dr. Hussam as well. Thank you so much.